turn to face you for a moment, but make this suit your space. I like to bring my handprints behind me so I can lean back like I'm in a lawn chair, maybe making the handprints really wide. I'm doing the same thing with the footprints and beginning to windshield wiper my shins from left to right. This can create some soft rotation for the lumbar spine underneath the thoracic spine while we kind of keep the shoulders anchored in space. Also are lubricating the hip joint a bit before we create a little more length there. When you're ready, you might find your seat underneath you, maybe bringing your hands to your shins for support. And I like to fold one foot under the opposite thigh, like I'm going to sit crisscross applesauce. And then the other foot might stay grounded exactly where it is with the knee folded nearby. From here, I can use this shin as an anchor point for either or both hands as I breathe and rotate to look over one shoulder. Breathe in to find center. Choose to go the same direction or try the other side. Moving with your breath, not forcing anything, just noticing how this feels to twist, to practice this lateral rotation with your spine, with both hips rooted to the floor. When you're ready, you might unfold one foot and change sides, bringing the other foot to fold under the opposite thigh and grounding the other footprint. As you continue to rotate, now using the other shin for an anchor point. And you find the sound of your ujjayi breath or ocean wave in your ears. And decide when you feel complete with your rotation. Prepare to lie down on your back. You might again move any other props out of the way so you can feel the nice flat support of the earth underneath you. You come to lie down with both footprints close to your hips. Notice your long spine and press into your shoulders and both arms as you choose to lift your hips any amount with a breath in. You might tuck your chin and lengthen the back of your neck and make sure your head is not supporting your weight. As you're ready, set your spine down like a string of pearls. Let your hips be last. Make any adjustments needed, physical or mental. And when you're ready, inhale as you press into both feet to lift your hips maybe higher this time. Tucking your chin, let the back of your neck be long. Choose to guide your handprints and elbows towards center. Maybe they connect, maybe they don't. Press them into the mat regardless to lift your sternum and spine towards the sky. You might tilt your eyes towards your belly and notice as it inflates with each breath in. Choose to stay in your strong bridge pose for 1 to 3 more breaths. When you're ready, make space between your hands and slowly guide your spine 1 vertebrae at a time to the mat, letting your hips down last. Stay here and rest in the flat support under your spine. You have the option to bring one ankle to the top of the other thigh as you send that knee outward. With your lifted foot, flex those toes towards the shin and choose to stay here and breathe as you press your folded knee away with activation in the hip. Maybe you use your hands for support as your grounded foot leaves the mat and your whole lap comes close to your heart. Hi, bud. You could use your handprint on the inside of your folded knee to create resistance as you bring the other knee close while it supports that ankle. You could also feed your hand through the keyhole of your folded knee, interlacing your fingers on the front or back of the other knee. This is half pigeon pose or reclined half pigeon pose. You could make circles with the floating foot in the air, or rock from side to side and notice how the sensation changes. When you're ready, guide your foot to the floor and release your ankle from the top of the thigh, bringing both feet to the mat to change sides. As you're ready, the other ankle may find the top of the opposite thigh, sending that folded knee outward, maybe even with soft resistance from your handprint. Choose to stay here and breathe, or lift your grounded foot to bring your whole lap towards your heart. Keep flexing the folded toes towards the shin, maybe as you softly resist that knee away from your heart, helping it fold outward and resist gravity. Or maybe you fold your hand through the keyhole of your folded knee and interlace fingers on the front or back of the knee. You have the option to make circles again with the floating foot. Maybe you have a curious pet nearby that's hungry for attention. They seem to sense when the blood pressure lowers and the human is going to be on the floor for several minutes. It might feel nice again to rock from side to side in your supine half pigeon pose, reclined half pigeon pose. And when you're ready, you may choose to unwind and guide both feet to the floor, setting up for a comfortable Savasana or final resting pose. You may choose to make your feet wide and let your knees rest in center, offering a little relief for the lumbar spine. I encourage you to fold your shoulder blades underneath you to connect close to the spine and allow the chest to fall open. It might be nice to turn your thumbs outward and let your palms rest, shining towards the sky. Another option could be to slowly walk your feet away from your hips, maybe even lengthening both legs long on the mat if it feels okay for your back. If this is working for you, another option could be to roll onto your belly, just like at the start of our session. Tune in again to the sound of your breath. Notice if that ocean sound was easy to hold on to and practice throughout moving. Maybe after a few final rounds of your ujjayi or ocean breath here, you choose to relax the muscles of your throat and allow your breath to flow more easily, more naturally, with less control. It could be nice to clear your throat or even bring fingertips to softly massage your voice box, your vocal cords to help your throat muscles relax as you settle in for a soft, quiet, final resting pose. You may choose to imagine your hips like the root of your tree, imagining the whole structure of your spine with your head on top. With a long breath in from hips to inflate your belly, find fullness and then softness. Drawing your next breath perhaps a little longer, you may choose to notice your hips, your trunk, and your chest as it inflates with another breath. Maybe letting the breath grow longer still. Draw your awareness from your hips, through your belly and trunk, your heart space and throat, into your heavy head. And notice your long limbs as they rest heavily on the mat on all sides. Choose to stay and rest as long as you need. When you feel complete, you may choose to turn onto one side, maybe making a pillow with your arm or a prop, and rest in the fetal position. And when you're ready, find your way up, pressing into the mat to return to upright. Be easy with yourself and notice how you feel. When you find any changes in your mood, whether lighter or heavier, from the start of your practice, and you find some point of connection in your session here that gave you a sense of ease or strength that you might practice again. And if you'd like to join me with a mudra, which is just a gesture like a yoga pose for our hands, I'll invite you to close with me with Padma Mudra. First, joining the hands together in center, and then expanding the fingerprints out in all directions as the pinky fingers and the thumbs stay connected, as well as the heels of the hands. As you let your elbows be wide and lower your hands, you may look down into a kind of bowl shape or imagine a flower blooming. This is Padma Mudra, associated with interconnection or maturity or a thousand-petaled lotus. I like to imagine it's a soft place to let my thoughts and distractions go when I attempt to sit in stillness. Or just like we pair our movement with our breath in our movement practice that came before, you may choose to expand your fingerprints or the petals of your flower in this mudra with a big inhale. Notice as your chest expands as well before drawing everything together, almost making a little seed shape as you connect your fingerprints and press all the air out of your abdomen. You may choose to close your practice here with this centering connection, or with a self hug or a bow. I invite you to take a moment of gratitude for your effort here, and I offer mine for you joining me, trusting me in this time. Please reach out if I can be any further support in this practice for you. Take care. I hope to see you again. Bye bye.